Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned for the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host of all hosts, Avi Myers.
Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. We're real big on community policing. Caps24.org, that's the website of Sonny Hirsch, who's chairman of the District Advisory Committee for the 24th District. If you'd like to know where all the meetings are in the 24th District, that's the place to go. By the way, Sonny, did you update my 2412 meetings?
I have to check it out.
Well, you know, in the 24th District, all the community policing meetings were changed. Now we all meet on Thursdays. The 10 sector meets on the second Thursday. The 30 sector meets on the third Thursday, and the 20 sector meets on the fourth Thursday. Go to caps24.org. That's for Rogers Park, West Rogers Park, and a little bit of Edgewater. For the rest of the city, dial 311. That tends to work very well. And of course, all our shows are on the web. And you know, some people think we get so many watches on the web, they think we're only on the web. We're on in Chicago, we're on in Evanston, we're on in 30 and 35 northwest suburbs. In Chicago, we're on Thursday at 7:30, Friday at 2:30 on CanTV 19. In Evanston, we're on Thursdays at 8. Well, actually, Tuesdays at 10, Thursdays at 8 on ECTV 6. And in the north and northwest suburbs, we're on usually either 19 or 35 Mondays at 6 o'clock. My first guest today, and I guess this is officially, they can't really be the start of a political season because if you're in the judiciary, you don't campaign. That's not how it's done. But it's time to start introducing you to people in the judiciary over the course of the next few months because we've always believed very strongly here that what goes on in court can affect you more than almost anything else. More than your state senator, more than your state representative, and more than your governor sometimes. I mean, it can affect your whole life. So it is a pleasure to introduce you to a judge in the 8th Subcircuit, Judge Deborah Gubin. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And what exactly is the 8th Subcircuit?
The 8th Subcircuit is a division that was set up. There are 15 in Cook County. And what they do is, the basis of them was to add diversity to the bench. And they've been set up geographically. The 8th Subcircuit is generally from about Peterson to 26th Street. It goes most of the time from Ashland to the lake, from Foster to Armitage, and then at about Armitage, it starts following the river, and it becomes a very narrow along the lake, 26th Street.
That's a very long district.
It's a very long district. It includes a lot of high-rises. It includes South Loop, Lincoln Park, the DePaul area, downtown, Andersonville, Wrigleyville, and some of Edgewater. It does go a little farther west to about Western, from Foster to Peterson.
Oh, so you do come pretty close to where we are right now.
Correct.
So tell us something about your background.
All right. I started out as a public defender for 9.5 years. I then worked I was general counsel for the Department of Financial Institutions.
Oh, by the way, we should point out for all our South Shore fans here that she is a South Shore native.
I am from South Shore, graduated from South Shore in June of 1966. And I was a public defender for 9.5 years.
Yeah.
From there, I was general counsel for the Department of Financial Institutions for about 2 years. I then was in private practice for 20 years, doing a mixture of criminal and civil litigation in both state and federal courts. And in 2005, the director of the Department of Healthcare and Family Services asked me to come on board as Deputy General Counsel, which I did, and then I switched over there to their Chief ALJ until I was appointed to the bench on March 4th of 2010.
2010. So this is, so we're about 1.25 years in. How do you like being a judge?
I love it. It's something I have wanted to do for a long time. I have applied for associate judge, and I actually have run. In 2000, I ran countywide. In 2002, I ran in the A Subcircuit. Unfortunately, I was not successful. I will say, though, that I did have the Trib endorsement both times.
Wow.
I'm very proud of that. So.
It sounds like you were very highly rated by the bar associations then.
I have very good bar ratings. I know it sounds very conceited to say that.
Well, I asked you.
But there are, I have the highest ratings possible in all but 2 of the bar associations.
Wow, that is very impressive. And by the way, I should point out, too, that the anonymous person who recommended you usually only gives me people who have highly qualifieds. And for those of you who don't know, by the way, I put out Jewish Chicago before elections, and they will be coming up for the primary election next year, which was moved back to March 21st. And I take great pains in talking to a lot of people in the judiciary. We have a lot of lawyers who themselves are very highly rated when they've run, and they recommend that I try to cover the judicial races as much as possible, which is one of the reasons I don't think enough attention is paid to letting people know about judges, who they are, and what they do.
It is very difficult. When you have the number of people running, and also this upcoming primary is going to be very difficult because of the fact that, because of the census, you are going to have so many people, all the state representatives, all the congressional people will be running. It will be a presidential primary, and then you have a lot of judicial elections. In the A Subcircuit, there are 4 vacancies. I was appointed to fill the vacancy of Maureen Durkin-Roy, who retired, and that's the only one I'm going to be filing in. And it's hard for people to know who are these people and how do you find out. That's why the bar associations do ratings, and that's why we do try to get a lot of our material out. And being on something like this is very helpful.
Well, I find it is helpful to people, and not only that, I mean, why wouldn't you want to know? If somebody appears before you, I mean, they could lose their house, they could lose their freedom. I mean, a loved one could be locked away for who knows how long. They could be adjudicated against, children. So
even if it was in domestic relations, where it is so anyone who appears in court, to the lawyer who's practicing, that's what they do for a living. To the judge, these are the cases that we have in front of us. To the litigant, it's their life. And it's very personal and very hard, which is part of the reason why you need to have a lawyer and you should not represent yourself, because there's an emotional level there that's very real and important to you. Whether it's a traffic ticket, whether it is a mortgage foreclosure, or whether or not you're in a child support issue. These are difficult cases, and you want to have judges who will listen to both sides and actually rule on what's the law. Now, sometimes you might not like the ruling, but if it's a fair ruling, if they've listened to you, then it's the best you can do, and that's what our justice system is. Somebody's going to go away angry in a contested hearing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make everybody happy unless you can mediate it. Now, that is something else. When I was in private practice, I went and got certified as a mediator. I took a 8-day course so that I could be certified in that. And I think it made me a better lawyer, because it made me be able to, or allowed me and gave me training to work sometimes with my clients or opposing counsel and say, okay, what do we need to get that done? Now, in criminal cases, you can't always do that.
It's a different category.
Yes, very different. But in civil cases, whether it's contract or personal injury, it gave me additional tools. As a judge, that's given me additional tools when I have an opportunity to pull both sides in and say, okay, what is it we really need to do here?
Right, that's good. If you can get them to solve it yourself, you've done the right thing.
They're happier.
That's the King Solomon school of getting decisions made.
Well, that's one of the reasons I think Cook County, by the way, is doing much more in the way of mediation. There is well, there was required mandatory arbitration, which is not the same, in municipal cases, which are lawsuits, whether it's personal injury or contract, of up to 30,000, or maybe it's 50,000 now. And then in a lot of the commercial litigation cases, we have corporations, and you're talking huge amounts of money. They're trying to encourage mediation on those cases as well, because to try those cases can take weeks and weeks, costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And maybe it's better for everybody involved if you can work out a situation where everybody can get a little something.
It sounds good. At this point, we are running out of time. If people would like to contact you,
They can contact me. Well, my website is www.electjudgegubin.com. Or you can also contact me at Judge Deborah Gubin at gmail.com. And I do have an election phone number that I don't have offhand.
well, they can go to the website and get it.
They can certainly do that.
Okay, I want to thank you very much, Judge Deborah Gubin. I want to thank you for being here and informing us
pleasure.
about all these interesting going on and letting us know more about the legal process, and good luck in the election.
Well, thank you very much. If you have any other questions or I could help out, please contact me. I'd be more than happy to come back.
Sounds good to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.